Hi, hello, and welcome to Paisa, Vasool. As always, I'm your host, Shravan. We've got Taran here with us.
Hey everyone.
We're back again for another Sankranthi film. As you requested, according to the poll, you've asked us to watch and review Daaku Maharaaj. It was I think, got 50% of the votes. So here we are. We watched it early morning. This is release day. We've got a bit of an adventure to talk about, I feel like every movie we watch, or with Game Changer, there was a technical issue. We had quite a major technical issue with this one, which we'll get into. But it turns out we've only watched about, I would say,
I think
about
we've seen most of it.
80% of the film, maybe 85%.
You know, we got to a point where we know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So there was a power outage in the cinema, and
there was a power outage in the shopping center
in the whole
where
shopping
we watched
center.
the cinema. So yeah.
So we missed out on sort of the last little bit of the film, but we've watched enough to give you our opinion on it.
I think we pretty much got enough. Yeah. We'll tell you exactly where we stopped, but
yeah, we'll tell you, but you can tell us how much we missed. But yeah, I think we got the gist of what was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
So a bit about the film. It's directed by Bobby Kolli.
I have a question about this guy.
Yeah.
So his name is K.S. Ravindran or something.
Yeah.
Where did Bobby and where did Kolli come from?
I guess the K would be
K.S. is Kolli.
Is Kolli. And
Bobby's like a
nickname?
A nickname, okay.
He uses nickname as, But it does say directed by
Bobby Kolli.
Yeah, but
it doesn't say K.S. Ravindra. Oh, I think his name's K.S. something.
I think it's K.S. Ravindra or something like that. Yeah, so he previously directed Voltaire Viraya a couple of Sankranthis ago, and I think he made like other
films.
Films.
Power. He made what's that one with Junior NTR?
Jay Lawakusa.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, so he's made quite a few films. So he's returning now with The God of the Masses, as he's now.
You know how Balakrishna doesn't like Junior NTR?
Is that a real thing? I don't know.
I think it's a real thing because Junior NTR changed his name to Man of Masses.
Yeah.
And now he's God of Masses. Do you think he's trying to
I think he was God of Masses before that, though.
Was he?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's called a lot of different things. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, his Balakrishna is obviously the main attraction for this movie.
It's got Bobby Deol.
It's got Bobby Deol as the main antagonist. It's got music by Taman. So he, again, after Game Changer, we've got him composing the music for this one. And I think budget-wise, I was actually going to look at this because I was actually interested to see
how much budget this is compared to Game Changer.
Yeah. So I'll tell you in a second. But what were your thoughts on the film?
I was telling you, I've never seen a Balakrishna movie in the theaters before. I am not a huge fan of Balakrishna. He's more of like a meme content for me more than anything. If you like Balakrishna, you'll probably like this movie, is what I would say. But it is quite generic mass action movie. But saying that, if you just kind of go with the movie, the first half I thought was pretty entertaining in itself. There's no logic. If you're looking for logic, there's no logic, but it was entertaining enough. Like, you just put Balakrishna aside and you just enjoy the movie for what it is. It's all right. It's nothing special. It's just, if you've seen, what's Balakrishna's previous movie? Bhagavanth Kesari, if you've seen, what's that, Veera Simha Reddy, Akanda.
Yeah.
If you like those kind of movies, you'll like this as well.
I also haven't seen most of Balakrishna's films. I have seen Bhagavanth Kesari. That was my first Balakrishna film in the cinema. This is my second one. So yeah, like I thought it's obviously a pretty generic movie, but there's aspects of it that were, I guess, well done. Like the
cinematography is pretty good.
Yeah, cinematography is pretty good. I thought the background score was pretty decent in this one. And Balakrishna is Balakrishna, so he does his thing.
We were in a theater full of, I think, Balakrishna fans, and I'm unsure. If you're a Balakrishna fan, let me know. When you're cheering for him saying stuff, are you cheering ironically, or are you cheering because you think it's good? Because I just want to know. I just want to know if that's what you're doing.
But they were having fun. So
They're having
like,
fun. Yeah.
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 So I think it did make the experience better watching it with fans rather than like if I just watched this in an empty theater or if I watched it on Netflix, I'd be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
So it definitely did make the overall experience better. There were parts where I think they showed like restraint or like they just generally with a Balakrishna film, like this is my experience with it, they tend to go
Over the
overboard.
top. Yeah.
So if there's an action sequence, like it goes for like 10 minutes. Like it's a big action sequence. I feel like in this they kind of like left it a bit more to the imagination. Like they cut it at certain parts where you think there'd be an action sequence, but there isn't. Like it he just walks out and like everyone's dead or whatever.
Mm.
Like they don't actually show everything, which kind of was effective
Yeah.
in a way. So you know he's going to kill everyone, like he's Balakrishna, right? So
Yeah.
you don't need to really
I
show
think in
it.
every Balakrishna movie, he's just like an unstoppable force that just takes down everyone and everything. I think like you go into a Balakrishna movie knowing how it's gonna play. It's got like the same beats pretty much,
Yeah.
but it's just whether they do the beats well or whether they do it terribly. And
Yeah.
they did it decent
They
enough.
did
Yeah.
it decently well
Yeah.
enough, I think, in this.
Look, if this movie had any competition from the other Sankranthi releases, I don't think it would be that good. But just because Game Changer was so bad, and I think the other movie is going to be bad, I think this is just going to be
better.
better than both of those.
So budget-wise, I did look it up. It's 100 crores, so it's about a quarter of what Game Changer was.
Yeah.
And this movie looks better than Game Changer.
The cinematography is actually good. You got to give props to that. The story is nonsensical. But it's as nonsensical as Game Changer was, but it's just done better.
Yeah. I feel like, Game Changer is the kind of movie you need to have
a proper story. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to have logic in it. Like it kind of doesn't work without it being a little bit logical. Whereas this is the kind of story where it doesn't need to be. Like it can just be whatever, as long as it's kind of done well. Like the beats, you got the elevation for Balakrishna, you got some beats with the villains and stuff. You have some punch dialogues. I reckon that as long as you have that, that's enough for this, and they kind of do that well enough.
It's like you said, it's like if you know a Balakrishna movie, then you'll probably
This is better than most of his movies, though. To be honest, like he does some really bad movies. This is, it's better than most of them.
He does lots of movies with bad directors, but he somehow gets I don't know if he gets the best out of the director, but I think you go in not expecting much for Balakrishna movies, and he does movies with bad directors, and they tend to be okay. Because he does movies with Boyapati Srinu and
I think that's just maybe that combination just works.
Combination just works. This guy hasn't done many good movies, Bobby Kolli.
Yeah, most of his, like, they're not
they're
bad
average,
movies, but like they're just average kind
I would say this like sits maybe as good as his best ones, or maybe a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's probably better than the director Bobby's previous. I think it's better than Walter Vieira. Yeah?
It probably is. Yeah. And then previously he's done movies with like Gorbich and Malineni and stuff like that, which they're all they're better than the director's other movies generally.
Yeah.
They're not great still. Like, don't go into this expecting it to be game changing.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yes. But it's decent enough. I feel like I was never kind of bored, and it was like entertaining enough to keep you interested.
There's like an elevation scene every 20 minutes to keep you going.
Yeah.
There's a fight every so often.
Yeah, so it does those beats well enough.
Balakrishna punch dialogues, which I find funny, but once again, I'm not sure if everyone else is finding them funny as well.
They're like actually good, and
they're
actually enjoying it for what they're.
There's some really good ones in this.
There are some
really funny ones.
There's some good ones in this. We can get into some of them as spoilers. Negatives wise, there are some redundant characters.
Urvashi Rathore.
What's her name?
Urvashi. I don't know how to say her last name, but her first name's
Rotella, I think.
Rotella, I think.
Yeah.
She is the biggest waste of a character in this, and I don't know why.
So I was like going into this because we saw that song that was released, and I was quite fearful of what we were going to watch in this movie.
Yeah.
To be honest, like she's in it. She's in one song, that song, and that's it. That
The
song,
song's bad.
the song is quite problematic and bad.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the rest of like,
But it's not even like she's an item song girl and they've just put
she's
her in
an
that
actual
song.
character.
She's in
like-
the movie, but
Yeah.
she doesn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah,
She's just in there for no reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like that
They could have just taken out that whole portion and it would
character
have
should
changed.
have, could have definitely been taken out. I'm not sure why she was there, why that song is there. That song also didn't need to be there. I feel like
It comes at the randomest time. Like it like interrupts it's just like a cut from a random scene to the song
Yeah.
and then cuts back to the movie
the main
afterwards.
plot. Yeah.
So it's very random.
And the other thing, so Balakrishna, when he does characters that are not suited to his age, it's worse. I feel like this movie, it's somewhat, I mean, like, I think he's meant to be older. And like most of the stuff he does seems to be like, I mean, it's not something that a younger person would be doing. Like, it seems like kind of respectable
Yeah.
in most of the movie, except for that song.
Yeah.
So I feel like if the song wasn't there, it wouldn't have made much difference.
I got another negative. A lot of this movie relies on this character that is played by this little girl.
Okay.
And we don't like to bag on child actors, but she is one of the worst we've seen in recent times.
She's better than the one in Kangova, but only marginally.
Only just. Yeah.
She's not in it enough to affect the movie. I think she's in it. She's in it, like, and she plays an important character, but I don't think she's in, like, she doesn't really impact the quality of the film.
And a lot of the characters in this movie, I think, are Hindi. Like, they speak Hindi in real life.
Like Bobby Deol and
and the dubbing
all the villains and stuff.
Yeah, all the villains, and the dubbing is not great.
Yeah.
Even the little girl, I think she gets dubbed for some reason.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
None of her lip sync
was good. Yeah.
It wasn't there.
Urvashi's lip sync's terrible.
Oh, luckily she doesn't have many dialogues, but
Pragya Jaiswal's lip sync's bad.
Yeah.
Like, most of the people in this movie have bad lip sync.
But I guess all of that doesn't really matter, because if you're going into this wanting a Balakrishna movie,
you're going to get it.
You're getting it. Have you seen Akanda? I haven't seen Akanda.
I've seen Akanda.
Is this better than Akanda?
This is, Akanda's bad, but Balakrishna fans like it.
I also appreciated, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but whatever, it's not really. Balakrishna movies always have a certain formula, and it's usually where he plays the father and the son.
Yes.
And I thought this was going to be the same, but it's actually not.
Yeah.
So that was good.
It was good that he didn't play the father role in this.
Yeah. So there's actually just one character, which was good.
A fresh change up.
Yeah.
His movies are actually mostly the same movie over and over again. But this one is slightly different. We did see the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, we did see the last 20 minutes. So we can get into where we got up to in spoilers. But I think we saw enough of it to sort of get where it was going. But I guess I sort of recommend this. Like, I mean, if you're going to watch a movie this Sankranthi.
If you're going to watch a movie Sankranthi,
I think this one's probably the one.
I can't see Sankranthi Vastundi or Sankranthi Vastunam being better than this. But
unless you like that kind of thing.
If you like that kind of thing, maybe.
Like that kind of comedy and stuff, you might like it. But I guess the audience that would probably have liked Game Changer, this is probably the alternative for them.
In a very slim picking Sankranthi, this is the best option.
Yeah. Spoilers. So, I mean, rough beats. Like the first half, I did sort of like the way they set up the screenplay. So it starts at the intermission point. Like the first scene is actually what happens sort of in the middle of the film. And then they backtrack and they they show how you get there, I guess, which is sort of all right. He has multiple introduction scenes. Like, he has an introduction scene at the start.
Everyone in the crowd erupted for every single introduction scene. I feel like every time he enters the frame before a fight, it's an introduction scene, pretty much.
And there's, a background score that goes with it, which is repetitive, but at the same time, I'm like, I actually don't mind.
It was
Yeah.
it was better than Game Changer's use of repetitive
Yeah.
background score.
So he comes to this like town, and then you kind of know, like
You know what's going to happen. It's
you know
very
the beats.
predictable.
So that the little kid's obviously related to him in some way, but actually she wasn't in the end. Well, we find out that she actually isn't directly related to him. But anyway, he comes there for this little girl as a driver, but then obviously he's got this flashback where you figure out who he really is, and then it's a Balakrishna movie.
There's always one point where he gets injured and is in hospital or something, but he's killed everyone anyway.
Yeah, and then while he's in a coma, or like while he's recovering, the actual flashback happens, and then after the flashback finishes, he wakes up. And,
they always need to be getting attacked, or there's some kind of danger while he's in the coma.
Yeah, and then he wakes up.
Yeah, so the point that it cut out for us is when he woke up.
Yeah, I guess he woke up. I'm pretty sure he did.
Because the girl was doing the backwards walk that she did.
The exact point where it cut for us, where the girl... So Bobby Deol comes to the hospital. He's like killing everyone. And then the girl runs down a corridor and she turns left. And then she starts walking backwards. And that's the part where it cut out.
The theme music is starting and then it cut out.
So I guess... Well, they have that exact same sort of scene earlier in the movie. So I'm guessing they're just doing it again.
We know what's going to happen after
so
that.
He comes out.
He's going to kill Bobby Deol. He's going to come out, kill him. And then they're going to be a happy family. Yes. And then Pragya Jaiswal is somehow alive, where I thought she would be dead, but she was alive.
I thought she was going to... So you can tell us what happens. Like, there's one or two things that's going to happen. So maybe she did really die, and you find out in like another flash cut sequence or whatever, like Bobby Deol kills her or whatever. Or she's just alive. And
I think she's just alive.
Yeah. She's just somewhere else, I guess.
And he just went to jail to get away from her by the looks of it.
He's actually in jail because of other reasons, maybe.
Yeah.
we actually didn't find out why he's in jail. Why is he in jail?
He just goes to jail. Yeah. Like, they're like, oh, he put all the crimes on himself and went to jail. But why? They had the videotape of the guy admitting that the other guy was doing everything.
Yeah.
So why did he go to jail?
Maybe we've missed something. Maybe there's another reason for him to...
I don't think so. I think he just wanted to go to jail.
Yeah.
And they needed to have a jailbreak sequence at the start.
I guess that's it. There's not many spoilers. You've seen the movie, essentially. But it's kind of done... I think it's shot well. It's shot well, and it has enough beats in there to sort of make it entertaining.
And we just watched Game Changer, so anything's going to be good compared to that. Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, surprisingly.
Maybe they were smart in the release date. They put it after Game Changer so that
they knew that
you would have that decreased expectations. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I already had, like, being a Balakrishna film, like, I never go in expecting too much from it. So it's...
Balakrishna movies are kind of like a Prabhas Mas movie, except without... it's more like a comedic parody of Prabhas action movies, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, there's parts of this that remind me of Salah. Yeah. Or like KGF as well.
It's just funny looking at Balakrishna do... Like, he's not in the best shape of his life.
No.
And he doesn't look like he's in great shape. It surprises me that he's younger than like Chiranjeevi and stuff, because when he's dancing and things like that, he looks very geriatric.
Well, he's in his 60s, so
he's
to
still
be fair, he's not like young.
He's not young. Yeah. He's not young. He's got some funny punch dialogues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like, like some of his movies where he's playing a character that's just way too young. Like,
he's not doing that.
Yeah, like in like Legend, and like when he plays the younger character in like some of those movies.
Yeah.
Even in like Akanda and stuff, where he plays like a younger...
He plays an engineer in that as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it in like Simha? Oh, and in Simha, he's a doctor.
He's a professor?
I think he's a doctor in Simha. And I think in Legend, he's a engineer or something, or a professor.
In Simha, his dad's the doctor, but he's the professor.
That's right. Yeah, his dad's the doctor. Yeah. He's the professor.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's less cringe in this with regards to that kind of stuff.
There's no romance plot, fortunately.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You think there is going to be one with Dorothy, but there isn't.
Well, I thought there might be one in the flashback.
But there isn't either.
Yeah, there isn't either, which is good.
So his last two movies, there's been no romantic subplot, which is good. Yeah. Whereas I think Veerasimha Reddy did have one.
I haven't seen it, but probably. Oh, no, Shruti
I
Hassan's in
thought,
it, right? So,
yeah.
yeah.
Haven't you seen it? It's the part where she like,
I've seen that part.
you've seen that part? Yeah.
Yeah,
That part, that
unfortunately.
scene's the greatest scene.
Yeah.
That scene is worth it for the whole movie.
Which one?
The part when she's like, Ra. It's like Talakai Kurani Kosam Chesa.
Oh, yeah.
And then she puts everything on his plate. Then she's like, Buddhaniku.
Well, that's his
Sorry,
like sister in the movie, right?
That's his sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his sister and the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have seen that scene.
Yeah.
That's a good scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's overall I think we had a good enough time. People were in the cinema were disappointed that the power cut out. We waited for like 20 minutes for it to come back, but
it looked like he was getting up to a good. He was probably going to beat up Bobby Deol really well. There was also a scene from Animal that I think they directly copied with Bobby Deol.
Yeah, the intermission.
Yeah, isn't that a direct copy of?
I think
like,
so. Doesn't he like?
He's like on
down
his back
like that?
with blood on him. Yeah. Or is it Ranbir Kapoor that one of them does it in Animal?
I think Ranbir Kapoor, isn't that when he kills Bobby Deol?
It might be when he kills Bobby Deol.
And that's how Ranbir Kapoor sits,
he's like on his back with all the blood on him. And then in this, it's Bobby Deol.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of wasted though. He's not really.
It's not really.
He doesn't really do that much.
In it that much. Yeah. All right. We are not reviewing the other Sankranthi film.
No.
I think we've had enough for now. So
this is probably the best one.
Probably.
But
you can let us know if the other one's better. But
yeah.
This is, I think objectively, this is just better than Game Changer.
It's just objectively better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're a Balakrishna fan, this is probably the best movie you'll ever see.
Yeah. I guess we'll be back at some stage for another film. I don't think there's any major releases for a little while, so we might do some more revisited. We've actually already filmed some episodes where we've revisited some older films, so we'll probably release those in this gap, and whatever the next big one is, we'll be back for that. But if you have any suggestions of what we should watch or review, let us know. How do they go about that?
So we're on all social media platforms at Paisa Vasool, or you can email us at cognitiverecalibrationpodcast@gmail.com.
Cool. And we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. So if you want to listen to us rather than watch us, you can do that when you're out and about. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great Sankranthi again, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you later.